Good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Bender. I'm the president of the Minneapolis City Council. Welcome to City Hall this morning. Before we begin our official business, we have an important recognition of our health department, so I'll invite Commissioner Musican and any staff who want to join us. And I'm joined by the vice chair of our committee, Councilmember Gordon. Councilmember Cunningham, who chairs the committee, is not here today, but I know he sends his congratulations and his pride at this recognition. So I will start talking as we have everyone join us and then turn it over to Vice Chair Gordon and Commissioner Musican to say anything more. So this morning we are really excited to recognize the Health Department, which was awarded the 2019 Samuel J. Crumbine Consumer Protection Award for Excellence in Food Protection by the National Association of County and City Health Officials. And I'll pause and say that this is one of many national recognitions that our health department has received. We have one of the best and most well-respected health departments in the country, and we're really proud of you and thankful for all of your leadership and work. And I think that's just well known across the country. The health department received this award for their education and training programs for food businesses in the city, including culturally specific training on foodborne illness, food defense planning, and training on specialized food processing. And again, this was really innovative, I think the first of its kind in the country, and council members from across the country have already contacted me about it, and I always turn them over to Commissioner Musican, who's the real expert on this. But I'm excited to now turn it over to Vice Chair Gordon, if you want to say anything, and then invite the Commissioner to give us more detail. Thank you.
Well, I just want to share my congratulations and let all the staff know how proud I am of the work and of this accomplishment. I think we're really pioneers in this area, and we've demonstrated how we can, or you all, I guess, can work hard to make sure that we have safe food in our city, but also support our businesses as they're growing and they're doing more. And it's a real culture shift. I've been involved in the health committee since elected to the council. I'm on my 4th term, so I've gotten to see how this change and transition has happened, and it's really been amazing and it's been fantastic. And I think some of the residents don't know how lucky we really are, but many of them do, and I'm sure many of those businesses you have worked with are very and deeply appreciative of those efforts. So congratulations.
Council President and Vice Chair of Peace, Cam. Thanks so much for helping us recognize this award. Some people talk about it as the Oscar of the food safety world. So the award is sponsored by a group of 11 partners, and they're all mentioned here. So 11 national organizations get together, give one award a year, and some years they don't even give an award if the bar is not reached. So if you haven't heard about this award, it doesn't make it into the headlines of the newspaper, but it's pretty exciting. And in order to be chosen, a program has to have sustained excellence over 4 to 6 years. And so it's not just a flash in the pan or a snapshot of what we've done. It's really the long-term view. And you need to excel in 4 areas: program excellence, improvement, innovation, and outreach. And some of the things that we have that were noted as part of our receiving the award is that shift in philosophy, which was heavy on enforcement and fines, to one of partnership, and rebuilding our program on the foundation of training, quality assurance, and consistency, and of course always having enforcement and fines as part of our toolkit, but not as the only tools in our kit. And also creating serving safety, and that is an educational program specifically for cultural communities who are running restaurants, really innovative, and also the groundbreaking work we've done on food safety and food defense with some of our large events. And so I just want to take a moment to recognize the staff who have really built and done this work over a course of many years. So thank you all. And then finally, we have little lapel pins for each one of the council members, which I will give to you just in thanks for your support in rebuilding and refocusing this high-quality city program.
Thank you.
And the Oscar goes to.
Oh.
For the 3 of you come forward.
Give it to Tina.
One. She did.
I forgot to say good. Thank you. I could have gotten it later too. Okay. Good morning again. I'm Lisa Bender. I'm the president of the Minneapolis City Council. I will call this regular meeting for September 27th to order and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon. Here. Connor.
Here.
Reich. Here. Fletcher. Here. Jenkins.
Here.
Schrader.
Here.
Warsami.
Present.
Cunningham is absent. Ellison is absent. Goodman.
Present.
Johnson.
Here.
Palmisano.
Present.
President Bender.
Here.
There are 11 members present.
Let the record reflect that we have a quorum. The agenda for today's meeting is before us. I have one motion for addition to amend the agenda, and I will also see if there are other motions to amend the agenda from council members. Are there any motions to amend? I don't see any others. So I will move to amend the agenda to include under the order of adjournment the legal matter of the appeal of implementation of Section 621A1 of the Cable Communications Policy Act of 1984 as amended by the Cable Television Consumer Protection and Competition Act of 1992 as part of the closed session. And this comes at the request of the city's attorney's office, which will be added to the closed session that we had already scheduled on our printed agenda. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. That is amended. Are there any other amendments? Just check one more time. Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. That carries, and the agenda is adopted as amended. Sorry. Next, we have the we have the minutes from our regular meeting of September 13th for acceptance. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. That carries, and those minutes are accepted. Next, we have the motion to refer petitions, communications, and reports to the proper committees. Is there a motion for that?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. That carries, and those referrals are made. The next order of business is reports from our standing committees, and we will begin with a report from the Economic Development and Regulatory Services Committee, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Madam President. The Economic Development and Regulatory Services Committee is bringing 7 items forward for approval this morning. Items 1 and 2 are license applications. Item 3 is a motion to delete from the agenda, I thought. So now I'm not sure why this says something different. Item number 4 is business license operating conditions for the Uptown Theater. 5 is the same for Stockyard Outfitters. 6 is an Alina system bond issuance, and item 7 is the lease with North Star Community Rowing for a portion of the Upper Harbor Terminal. I'm not sure what to say about item number 3, so I'll defer to the clerk.
Madam President, Councilmember Goodman, you're correct. Number 3 is deleted from the agenda.
Okay, so I'll move items 1 and 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for approval, and item 3 to be removed from the agenda and not signed by the mayor early, other than the removal from the agenda.
Thank you. Chair Goodman has moved the agenda as described, including the deletion of item 3. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Connor.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and the report is adopted. Next, we have the report from the Enterprise Committee, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Palmisano.
Thank you, Madam President. There are 4 items being brought forward from the Enterprise Committee. Item number 1 is a contract extension with Assessment Associates Surfy Leadership Solutions in DRI Consulting for management assessment services. Item number 2 is a contract with Sierra Cedar to extend our PeopleSoft module implementation. Both of those first 2 items have no new money associated with them. Item number 3 is an RFP for professional services to manage our public access television on behalf of the city. And item number 4 is a honorary resolution for Jeff Schneider that we presented during committee, and he will receive the signed resolution at a retirement party next week. Happy to answer any questions, and I move all 4 items.
Thank you. Chair Palmisano has moved the committee's report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Connor.
Aye.
Wright. Fletcher. Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader. Warsami. Ellison. Goodman. Johnson. Palmisano. President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and the report is adopted. Next is the report from the Housing Policy and Development Committee, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Gordon.
Thank you very much, President Bender. The Housing Policy and Development Committee is bringing one item forward, and this is a land sale of 3315 Thomas Avenue North and 3637 Emerson Avenue North to Jenny Investments LLC. And I will move that for approval.
Councilmember Gordon has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Wright. Fletcher. Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader. Warsami. Ellison. Goodman. Johnson. Palmisano. President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and that report is adopted. Next is a report from the Public Health, Environment, Civil Rights, and Engagement Committee. That report will be given by the Vice Chair, Councilmember Gordon.
Thank you very much. The Public Health, Civil Rights Engagement Committee is bringing forward 12 items for consideration today. The first is passage of an ordinance amending Title 10 that would create a license for micro wholesaler food operators. Second item is approving a council appointment to the Public Health Advisory Committee. Third item is authorizing an agreement with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to host an associate from the Public Health Associates Program in our health department. The fourth item is accepting a gift from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. The fifth item is another gift acceptance, and this is from Cities for Action. The sixth item is authorizing formal intervention of the City of Minneapolis as a party to the Xcel Energy Integrated Resource Plan. Seventh item is a neighborhood revitalization program plan modification change that the policy board wanted us to make. The eighth item is accepting a grant from the Minnesota Department of Health for enhanced blood lead testing and lead poisoning prevention efforts and asthma education. The ninth item is accepting another grant from the Minnesota Department of Health, and this is for maternal child health services. 10th item is another grant, and this is to help us also with maternal and child health efforts. 11th is another grant. You can see the health department is bringing in a lot of grant money, and this is also from the Minnesota Department of Health for maternal health services. And the 12th item is approving an allocation of the Hennepin County Neighborhood Revitalization Funds for social services through St. Stephen's. And I'll move all 12 items forward for approval.
Councilmember Gordon has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Wright. Fletcher. Jenkins. Schrader. Warsami. Ellison. Goodman. Johnson. Palmisano. President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and those items are adopted. The next report is from Public Safety and Emergency Management, given by the Chair, Councilmember Kano.
Thank you, Madam President. And we have 4 items to bring forward before the full City Council today. Item number 1 is accepting a grant from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety for a DWI officer. Item number 2 is accepting a high-intensity drug trafficking areas program grant for participation on the high-intensity drug trafficking areas regional task force. Item number 3 is accepting a grant from the University of Minnesota for the Good Neighbor Fund grant for crime and safety awareness. And item number 3 is authorizing a decrease to a contract amending the joint powers agreement with the Minnesota Department of Public Safety for participation in the state's human trafficking task force. And I'll stand for any questions.
Councilmember Kano has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Wright. Fletcher. Jenkins. Schrader. Warsami. Ellison. Goodman. Johnson. Palmisano. President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and those items are adopted. Next is a report from the Transportation and Public Works Committee, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee forwards 22 items today. Item 1 is the West Broadway Improvement Special Service District proposed services and charges. 2 is the special service districts, the 428A category. Similar action. Item 3 is for the Downtown Business Improvement Special Service District, again for their proposed services and charges. Item 4 is the Congress for New Urban Legacy Project, a letter of support for the Chicago Lake Transit Center Mobility Hub. Item 5 is the West Broadway Improvement Special Service District 2019 Operating Plan and Budget Amendment. 6 is the non-governmental tax-exempt parcel streetlight operation fee, street maintenance assessment cancellations. Addresses affected are listed. Item 7 is the public right-of-way for declaration of the 22 Glenwood Avenue North. 8 is the Industrial Boulevard multi-use trail between I-35W and Broadway Street Northeast, and that's an acquisition of permanent and temporary easements. 9 is the contract amendment with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for the same project. Item 10 is the contract amendment with Hennepin County for pedestrian street lighting along Penn Avenue North. 11 is the contract amendment with the Affinitech Incorporated for the Minneapolis Parking Integrated Video Management System. 12 is the contract amendment with Metro Transit for Route 5 Transit Signal Priority. 13 is the cooperative agreement with Hennepin County for traffic signals and underground fiber optics for the traffic signal interconnect cable. 14 is the cooperative agreement with the Minnesota Ballpark Authority for pedestrian street lighting on 5th Avenue North from Washington Avenue North. 15 is the Zombie Pub Crawl Large Block Event Permit. That event will be October 12th. 16 is the West Broadway Avenue Theodore Worth Parkway Intersection Reconstruction Project, layout approval. 17 is the Southwest Wyndham Residential Street Reconstruction Project, layout approval and easements. 18 is the Waite Park Residential Street Reconstruction, project designation, cost estimate, and setting that public hearing for November 12th. 19 is the Hennepin Avenue Street Reconstruction Project. That public hearing will be October 29th. 20 is the repair of street failure at 90 7th Street South, that project designation, setting that public hearing for October 29th. 21 is the bid for removal of snow and ice on public sidewalks. And 22 is the low bid for the electrical vehicle charging stations project. Madam President, I move all items as submitted.
Councilmember Reich has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries and the report is adopted. Next is the report from the Ways and Means Committee presented by the chair, Councilmember Warsami.
Thank you, Madam President. The Ways and Means Committee brings 19 items for approval today. Item number 1 is a legal settlement, Eliza Ware versus City of Minneapolis et al. Item number 2 is a legal settlement, and this is automobile underinsured motorist coverage claim of Daniel Jacobs. Item number 3 is a legal settlement, City of Minneapolis and Kevit Excavating LLC. Item number 4 is a contract amendment with Municipal Code Corporation for professional codification and related services. Item number 5 is a lease with Salem Evangelical Lutheran Church for police parking at 4134 and 4142 DuPont Avenue North. Item number 6 is a contract amendment with Freud Holdings LLC for a 5-year extension of office lease in Mill Quarter Ramp. Item number 7 is a contract with Kraus Anderson Construction Company for construction management consulting services for the Hiawatha Maintenance Facility Campus Expansion Project. Item number 8 is a contract amendment with Kevit Companies for work associated with the Public Service Building Project. Item number 9 is a contract amendment with Modern Piping, Inc. for reduced costs for mechanical work for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 10 is a contract amendment with Knutson Construction Services, Inc. for concrete superstructural work for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 11 is a contract amendment with Lejeune Steel Company for additional structural steel supply for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 12 is a contract amendment with Premier Electrical Corporation for increased scope of electrical work for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 13 is a contract amendment with Danny's Construction Company, LLC for structural steel installation for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 14 is a contract amendment with Professional Services Service Industries, Inc. for additional construction services for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 15 is a contract with McKinstry Ascension, LLC for facility condition assessment services. Item number 16 is a license agreement with Minnesota Orchestral Association for for signage benefiting PV Plaza. Item number 17 is a collective bargaining agreement, and this is for the Fire Chiefs Unit 2019 through 2021. And item number 18 is a collective bargaining agreement, and this is for the Professional Engineers Unit, and it goes through 2018 through 2021. And the final item is a 2019 Fill the Boot campaign resolution, and I move approval of all 19 items.
Councilmember Warsame has moved approval of the Ways and Means Report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsame.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
President Bender. There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and that report is adopted. Finally, we have the report from the Zoning and Planning Committee, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Schrader.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. The Zoning and Planning Committee will be bringing forward one item, which is the withdrawal of an appeal for the property located at 500 and Nicollet Mall. It will move this forward.
Councilmember Schrader has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? I think I lost my speaker management. I don't see any discussion. Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsame.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries, and the report is adopted. The next order of business is the notice of ordinance introductions. This morning, we have one notice, which is from Councilmember Reich, that is related to the introduction at the next regular meeting, the subject matter of an ordinance to amend the traffic code by adding a new section on the process for establishing speed limits on city streets. Are there any questions on that notice? Seeing none, that notice is given and no further action is required. We have two items on the introduction referral calendar today. First, we have a motion by Councilmember Schrader and myself pursuant to previous notice to introduce, give first reading, and refer to the Zoning and Planning Committee the subject matter of an ordinance to amend the zoning code to amend regulations related to inclusionary zoning with the relevant chapters identified on the agenda. Second is the motion by Councilmember Gordon to introduce, give first reading, and refer to the Public Health, Environment, Civil Rights, and Engagement Committee the subject matter of an ordinance to Title III and Title 15 of the Code of Ordinances related to environmental program fees with the relevant chapters and provisions identified on the agenda. Are there any questions from council members on either of these introductions? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. That carries, and those ordinances are referred to the appropriate committees in the next cycle. That brings us to the order of announcements. Are there any announcements from council members? Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to note on behalf of Councilmember Fletcher and I that next week is the Jewish New Year holiday of Rosh Hashanah. So we'd like to wish, and he will speak for himself, but we'd like to wish everybody a Lashana Tova, a very happy, healthy New Year.
Thank you. Council Vice President Jenkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and happy Rosh Hashanah. But I wanted to announce that tonight, the Minnesota African American History Museum is celebrating its first year anniversary, and they are having a gala tonight. It has been a really great year for the museum. Lots of media attention, lots of visits from people from all around the country, and it opened at a time when the city and the nation is recognizing the 400 commemoration of African Americans arriving in this country. So happy to support them tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Kano.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to remind folks that we are still in the middle of Latino Heritage Month, and next week we're having two big events. One is around the census and the impact of the census on the Latino community. So that'll be on Monday, 8:30 a.m. at the Midtown Global Market with Superintendent Ed Graff and the Chamber President, Jonathan Weinhagen, as well as our state demographer, Susan Brower, and CLUES Policy Director, Angelica Klebesh. And then on Tuesday evening at 6 p.m., we're doing an immigration action forum to help people who are interested in providing solutions to all the horrible attacks that our communities are facing through the lens of immigration. So that is going to be Tuesday, October 1st at 6 p.m. And I did check with my council colleagues on the Jewish holiday issues to see if there was anything that we could be sensitive to. So I think we got the green light on the 6 p.m. time. And it'll be co-hosted with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, our Attorney General Keith Ellison, and we have 2 national speakers coming in from Illinois and from the United We Dream office in the DC area. So I hope that folks can come and support those issues. And last but not least, we all got the notification of the October 10th large event in downtown Minneapolis. And I want folks to know that we are requesting information from our city leadership to ensure that we have a proactive and a strong plan of support for any potential tension or discomfort that might be faced by communities that are trying to enjoy their time in downtown on the 10th. Thank you.
Thank you. And I was ready to end with an announcement that we did learn yesterday that President Trump will be visiting Minneapolis at the Target Center for a campaign rally. Mark Ruff, our interim city coordinator, sent out an email to all council members yesterday explaining the context of that and also offering to meet or talk with any council member who wants to. The mayor and I think many council members put out very strong statements yesterday, making it clear that any kind of hateful rhetoric, including any from the President of the United States, is not welcome in our city and does not reflect our values. Our staff is already working hard to make sure that everyone is safe, and we're ready both from just a typical sort of large event perspective, drawing on our experience with the Super Bowl and Final Four and lessons learned with those, but also knowing that this is not a typical event in a typical time, and we've seen these rallies become very hateful and very dangerous in the past, and we know we need to be ready for that unfortunate reality as well and make sure that our entire community feels safe and is safe and protected. So Council Vice President Jenkins, myself, and Mayor Frey are meeting this afternoon as well on this issue, and really just invite conversation and leadership from all of you, which I know is already happening. And I think I'm always just very grateful for the way that we're able to come together as a city and a community in the face of this moment that we're in. And I hope that this will be an opportunity for us to showcase our city's inclusivity and diversity and the way that we are going to move forward. So thank you for that. Is there anything else before we adjourn? I don't see any, so we have concluded the business on our agenda this morning. We have, I will move to adjourn to a closed session to receive the briefing on the 2 litigation matters, the one on the printed agenda and the one we added earlier. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. That carries, so we are adjourned to the closed session. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.